welcome back to Diving Into His Word. So, chapter 3. I don't know how long y'all's notes are, but these are mine. Longer than usual, so let's get right into it and let's make this word make sense to us. So, chapter 3 starts off with Moses. Moses is tending his father-in-law's flock. And he just so happens to bring this flock to the mountain of God. Yes. And when he leads them to the mountain of God, he sees a burning bush. And then he also sees an angel on it. And so he's curious. He goes up to this burning bush. And then, but right whenever he gets, really close, that's whenever the Lord sees it. In chapter 4, verse 4. When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, "Here I am." "Do not come any closer," God said. "Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground." So around the burning bush, that was holy ground. God wanted him there, but he needed to take off his shoes to step into this holy sanctuary that the Lord had. And then verse 6, then he said, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob." At this, Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. Moses realized that he was talking to God Almighty. And so that's why he hid his face. I mean, yes, it's just a reverence he had for the Lord. But just imagine you seeing something as out of the norm as that. I don't know if I would go over there. I don't know about you. Would you? I'd be terrified. But then verse 7 to verse 10, the Lord tells Moses, "I've been hearing the groaning of my people, and I'm sending you to go get my people out of Egypt and to go worship me in the mountain." Let's take this in a minute. Moses was tending his father-in-law's flock before all of this. All of this. He didn't expect anything but to tend his father-in-law's flock. And now the Lord is telling him to go back to Egypt to get his people out of there. Yes. Like Moses probably had a plan. I know Moses had a plan to stay in Midian to be with his family. But then the Lord said, "Nope, I need you to go this way." Yes. Imagine that. Imagine that. I think Moses just needed to process all of that. Just process that. The plan that he had to go this way just flipped to go that way. Then Moses does a little pushback. Verse 11, but Moses said to God, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? Who am I?" But then verse 12, and God said, "I will be with you, and this will be the sign to you that it is I who have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God on this mountain." But verse 11 to verse 14, Moses does a little back and forth with the Lord, saying, like, "I'm not." No, me? Like, me? But then verse 16, the Lord tells Moses to tell the elders about this plan so that the elders can go with him to tell Pharaoh to let the Israelites go. So he was not going to be alone. But it was definitely going to take Moses to be okay with going. And so I don't know if you caught this. Verse 20, So I will stretch out my hand and strike the Egyptians with all the wonders that I will perform among them. After that, he will let you go. I will. The Lord saying, I will bring these people out with my hand. Not Moses and I, it's just I. Moses was just the instrument that the Lord was going to use to get his plan out. But it was his plan in the first place. It was with his hands that he's gonna make it happen. And so that's that. And lastly, God told Moses to all the women once they're leaving Egypt to get gold and silver so that once they leave, they can give it to their children. And I'm assuming it's as a remembrance of them leaving Egypt. And yes, chapter 4, Moses responds. So, hope to see you there. All right, bye.